Okay, in this video, I'm going to cover the best apps and software for fitness businesses in 2026. I've been in the industry for 10 years. I've spent a lot of money on apps and softwares. They've came a long way since I first started using them. And between that knowledge that I have and all of my clients that use different apps and services, I think we've got a good idea of what's good, what's great, and what's not so good. So in this video, I'm going to break it down into sections. So we're going to cover client delivery specific apps and software that are useful, leads and sales apps and softwares that you can use to generate leads and get sales, and then all-rounders like the all-rounder apps and software that you can use. I'm going to consider a few things. I'm going to consider pricing. I'm going to consider online coaching businesses specific and in-person business specifics because there's a few different nuances. So yeah, let's get ready to watch this. By the way, I am not in any way affiliated by any of these companies, so if this is completely impartial. There's not going to be discount codes below. I'm not even going to link the companies below. It's just going to be my experience, what I've heard, and you can actually benefit and save yourself some money in 2026 and cut straight to the point so that you don't just spend a bunch of money on stuff that you don't even need. Let's go. Okay, here goes. Let's get stuck into this tier list. So a couple of things before we get started. Here is the rules. I'm going to rank stuff top tier, good, average, overrated. Of course, you may not agree with me with some things, which is why you should put in the comments and say, hey, I use that, it's amazing. Or, yeah, I agree with you, it's not great. Either way, it means that we can get a bit of a chat going and the people who watch this video can hear my opinion and also go into the chat. Everybody's a winner. So a couple of considerations before I get stuck into this is the number one thing that matters most here is the use case, which is you. You're the use case of software. Like you need to figure out what you actually want for your business. I might think something's the best because the way that I run my business, and you might think it's useless because the way you run yours. So it's a bit like clients asking for the best training plan or the best diet plan. What matters more is the context of the individual and what will be the best for them. It's the same for you, right? The next thing, when you see these types of videos on YouTube and stuff, the best software, the best apps, like they always focus on price, like it's the deciding factor. And what ends up happening is you get caught in this like software trap where you pay £12 because it's cheap, and then you pay, you know, £20 for another app over here. Then you're paying for ChatGPT and it's £20. Then you heard Claude's better, and then you're paying another £20, and then you're paying another app for nutrition, and you end up paying all these cheap apps. And not only does it eat away at your profit, but it's very difficult for you to scale because you're not only your clients using a lot of things, but you can't get on top of your client fulfillment. So remember that simplicity scales and complexity fails. And the more apps you use, the harder it is. So I want you to really think about that when you're like actually going to get these pieces of software. Traditionally, back in the day when when I first started it, the apps were just for training plans and training apps. Now they're like fully comprehensive. So you have to consider that. And again, like I've got 10 years experience of doing this. I have got two departments inside the agency. I've got an online coaching or an online business department. Then we have the in-person business department. So personal trainers, martial arts studios, like group coaching, all of that stuff. So you have to think about that. Like we have people who are like, oh, I heard this app's really, really good. It's like, yeah, that app's great for online coaches, but you're a gym owner. It's not so great for you. Gym owners are going to need more around scheduling, client availability, clients booking in sessions and stuff like that. That's more important for in-person coaches than online, who would want maybe more detailed onboarding sequences, education hubs and stuff like that, a lot more top of priority. Okay, so I want you to consider that. I know it sounds pretty obvious, but I want you to think about that as I'm going through these different apps. So we've broken it down, like I mentioned, into client delivery, leads and sales, and all rounders. So I want to cover here client delivery. Now, again, like if I was to go into my community group right now and ask the clients, what's the best app for your fitness business, it would go a bit crazy. It would be a bit mixed, but I do think there'll be a winner. Certainly in the UK here that we've used. So there is an app. I don't know. I just updated this here, but it seems to have disappeared. Hang on. Yeah, so this one disappeared actually just as I went to record this video. So TeamUp, this is what I use for my gym. The TeamUp is just it specializes kind of more in person businesses. It might have evolved since then. I don't know. I'm not an expert at it, but this was amazing for our gym when we run it. It was one of the first to like really include payments, onboarding. You could check client sessions and how many of the sessions they were on and stuff. I now know that a lot of other apps do that. but it was tried and tested for us, and a lot of our gyms use TeamUp right now. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with any of these people. I'll not put any links in the caption or anything like that. I don't care what you use. I just care that you grow your business. That's all that matters to me. Um, there is an affiliation here. It's kind of my company, which is right there. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, TeamUp. So because I used that in the gym, I'm quite biased. Like I really, really liked it, and quite a lot of my gyms right now use it. So I'm going to put TeamUp in the top tier category. So TeamUp, there it goes. We have TrueCoach, which is very, very common with online coaches. Some flaws that I've heard: when you get to a certain client number, they bump the price up very, very substantially. But I have heard that a user interface and stuff like that is really, really good. There's some people who are just like, I don't need that many clients. I don't need it to be that price, considering the other options that are out there. So if we're thinking about a growing online coach who's going to have maybe more than 40, 50 clients, maybe you have some team members and stuff, it might get pricey, but then you can afford it. But if they're just an online coach who's got sort of 12 clients, 13 clients, and yeah, you won't get charged a higher rate, but I'm not sure you really need TrueCoach. There might be other options out there. But I have heard great things, and I think, it'd be a bit shame to put it any lower than that. In fact, I'm going to put it in the good column because I've heard good stuff. I haven't heard amazing stuff. And then we come to Trainerize, which is the kind of OG of them all. They were one of the first in the market. They were kind of the market leader for a while, them and Mindbody. So I guess like we can think about that. They are now, they've been acquired and stuff like that, a lot of money to spend. So I'm going to put them in between because, again, I haven't had any of my clients be like, you have to use this. In fact, we had a few people transition away from it. So I'm going to put it here. And then we have Mindbody. I don't have much knowledge on that. I just know they do very, very well with more wellness style brands and stuff. But none of my clients who use it. Maybe this is just because it's in the UK. There's a bit of a bias there. But I'm going to put it between good and average because, this is more me respecting them as a business. And then we have exercise.com, which is, I've seen the back end of it and stuff. We've inquired about it. I know someone that works there and stuff. We don't recommend things. We just say, for your use case, it might be that. Have a look. But exercise.com, if you go to their website, not only is it a very, very, very good domain that I'm jealous of, I wish I bought it whenever it was free, which had been a while ago, I'm guessing, where it cost a few pounds, dollars. So anyway, I have seen the back end of that. I've seen the demo videos. One of our martial arts studios is actually kind of looking at inquiring about it and stuff, and has heard some really good stuff. Went back and forward. And they are very modern, very up to date with fitness businesses. So I'm going to definitely put that in the top tier category. And then we have my PT Hub, which it was the first app I ever used way back when. So I'm trying not to judge it because that was a long time ago. They are still about. So I'm guessing they must be okay, but my clients don't really use it. No one's given me any feedback on it. So I'm going to put it back down to average. Over the years, it's definitely slipped. Kahunas. This is something that my wife uses and quite a lot of online coaches are using these days. Again, these guys that have built this, very modern, up to date with things. I'm not sure, but I think they might have been coaches as well. So they are obviously got a finger on the pulse with it. I'm going to put this in the top tier category as well. And then we have Skool, which, some people are using to deliver their service. They're putting in their educational videos, onboarding videos and stuff. Skool's great. It has an app and stuff like that. I would like a few more pricing options. Obviously, I think right now it's $100, maybe $99 or something like that. But it only does one thing, and it hosts videos. It can send the calendar invites and stuff like that, but it's just got very, very good at being a course in some of your host trainings and stuff. It's not trying to be anything else, by the way. That's what it is. But for overall delivery, for a lot of the market that watch these videos, I think it'd be a waste of £100 if you didn't have the other stuff I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to put this in average, purely because it's only covering one major problem in my experience. It's okay if you've got a larger business, but for fitness clients and stuff who are tight on time, and because, for example, right, if I want to book my sessions with you, I need to use another app. If I want to watch videos, educational videos, I need to use Skool. If I want to track my calories, I'm probably going to use MyFitnessPal or one like that. So all of a sudden we get up to the 4 or 5 app range, and it's quite a lot for people. Okay, so that's client delivery. Then we come down to leads and sales, and we talk about ManyChat, which for me is absolutely top tier. Let's see if I can just extend these a little bit. let's go ManyChat. I think it's top tier as an online business, in-person business, doesn't matter. Install ManyChat, drive leads towards it, let it handle the first message. Phenomenal, phenomenal. So let's go here. And then Fitness Ads AI, which is my business, transparently. We help, if you run ads on Meta, we help you write the ads. You give us your branding, you give us your brand voice, where you're located, and our AI combines with all of the ads we've run in the past for gyms and online coaches. And we also, so there's three parts of it: your brand voice, everything that your brand's about, what you want to come across like, your target market, where you're located, our best practices. So we spent hundreds of thousands on ads. That then Meta policies to make sure your ads never get banned. We stay within the rules. Combine those three, and what you get is what we call the unicorn engine that produces high performing fitness ads that you never have to log into Meta Ads Manager. It's all connected, and you just press publish and you generate leads for your business. What happens then is it just goes in, you access the lead, you message the lead on Instagram or WhatsApp or whatever. So as we go into 2026, when this launches, it's going to be a game changer. I promise you that. So that is, of course, going to the top of the list. And of course, I'm biased, but this is my video. And then we have Meta. Yeah, let's cover that. Meta Ads Manager, again, top tier. Very confusing for a lot of people, which is why I designed Fitness Ads AI, so you never have to log in. But of course, it is top tier because it's Meta and you can run ads. Built a very few very successful businesses, for me anyway, using Meta Ads. So I'd have to say it's top tier. Then we come down to the all-rounders, which is Loom and Go High Level. So Loom's very, very good. It's literally what I'm using right now. It's great as an all-rounder. You can do stuff. Do coaches overuse it? 100% they overuse it. They do it with their check-ins. They just use it for too much, and they kind of like the sound of their own voice at times. And sometimes, what I've noticed, right, one of the reasons that Loom got created was to stop hundreds of meetings. And over the years of that, I've had different team members and stuff like that. People just ended up sending hundreds of Looms. And it's like voice notes, Looms, meetings, where does the line go with it? And I just think that a lot of coaches have to diversify their teaching skills, and they have to be aware of the way that the mixture of clients take in information. So right now I'm talking to you like this, and I'm moving shapes about and stuff like that. If you're a visual learner, this is going to be great for you. If you look at all the videos on my channel, I'm drawing because I'm visual. I need to see things in my hand and to teach it. I don't like big lists. So I'm just teaching people the way I like to learn. But I've got to be aware that if it's my client, this is free content, so I don't have to think about it too much. But for my clients, they can't just keep watching videos of me drawing stuff. Some of them are different, they learn differently. So we have to have a bit of a diversity how we teach clients, okay? And I think Loom just becomes very easy and sometimes too easy, where you're basically asking a client who's really stressed and busy to go and watch another Loom video that could have just been a 2-minute voice note, or it could have just been a short description that they can read in their own time and they get a minute from putting their kids down to sleep or whatever. So Loom, I think, is definitely still up at the top tier and good section, but I just wouldn't be too reliant on it. Use it sparingly and use it when you need to, okay? And then we have High Level. We have a white labeled version of that, which is just MRR Systems. Very, very common in the agency space, and we get our clients to use it. We include it for our clients as well. And it's just basically a all-in-one platform for not so much client delivery. It does do that, but doesn't do it very, very well, let's face it, because these guys all do it very, very well. Now, where these guys fall short is lead gen and managing leads and pipelines and stuff, because that's they're only just starting to learn that. Some of them aren't even doing it. Whereas Go High Level, that's their jam. It also does email marketing and things like that as well, which is great. So I use that to run our business. So any of our pipelines and ads and funnels that we build is all through MRR Systems, aka Go High Level. So this is absolutely top tier. If we're talking, depending on your income, this can get quite pricey as well, but it should rule out a lot of other apps that you need to use. Now, obviously, if you're a coach and stuff, you're probably still going to want to use, these apps for your training plans. But then for lead gen and sales and stuff, you're not going to be able to use these. So then you're going to maybe be using a Google spreadsheet and stuff. So yeah, that's I don't think any are overrated, because I purposely didn't put any ones that I don't know. And honestly, there's a million, you could Google it, and there's hundreds, and some of them are just so cheap and a waste of time. I'm just going on what my clients have told me and the feedback that I've got and what I've used. So to end this video, What is the ultimate stack all round? So let's go online. So if you're an online business, yeah, I'd probably go these two. So pick one of these for your delivery if you're an online business. If you're leads and sales, if you're online, I would go ManyChat, Fitness Ads AI, and all round I would go with this and Loom. So this is how I would work it. This all in total will set you back. I don't know. It could set you back like obviously we'd only use one of these. This is like £20. Fitness Ads 100, and on 20, 77. Yeah, honestly, like 230, something like that. £230, $230 would be a full stack. Would be quality. Maybe less than that, to be honest with you. So that's getting leads all the time. That's managing your leads. That's like your email marketing, all of that stuff. So this could be a pretty good stack. For in person, you'd maybe move Kahunas, and you would swap it with maybe like a team up, but exercise.com would stay there. And then you'd want ManyChat, you'd want Fitness Ads AI, you'd certainly want Ads Manager in the mix there as well. You maybe wouldn't need Loom. You'd go higher level to manage your ads. And yeah, I think that's you. I think that is you. So let me just go back to putting it all where it initially was. And there we have it. This is my list for the tier best software and apps for fitness businesses going into 2026. Love to know what you think. Where did I get wrong? What's your best app? Is there anything that's not included there? Let me know in the comments, and I'll speak soon.